Welcome to webindia123.com. Now we have A.C. Jose, the multifaceted personality who has been our MP thrice, the former mayor of Cochin, and who was into the Committee of Commerce, Industry, Transport and Tourism, etc. We welcome you, sir. Ma'am, you too. Sir, why and when did you start in politics?
I started politics in very early ages. If I may correctly remember, I started at the age of 13 or 14, from school days onwards. I spoke in the Republic Day celebrations, I think at the age of 14.
Sir, how and why did you enter into politics?
It's not a question of entering into politics. It is, somehow or other you swim when your activities and slowly yourself will, you feel that you are in the midstream, like that. It is in my case, I have not entered into politics. Slowly I became a political worker.
Why you joined the Congress party?
If I have to be very frank with you, I joined Congress party because at that time, in my place, we were all, because of various reasons, we were against communist movement, very violent, etc. And then slowly I started reading about these things, and thus I became a congressman. I happened to be a congressman not because of my intentionally, it slowly happened like that. Then thereafter I read and I am attracted to Congress philosophy and ideology, and now I am in Congress.
And where did you find your soulmate?
I find it here.
When you got married?
We got married in the year 1964. But we were together from 1960 or 61 onwards. Together in the sense, simple love. we were courting for about 3 years.
How you compare the Congress party in the mid-90s and now?
People are comparing any party of 1940s and now. 1940s, the situation in the country was different. It was not an independent country. So Congress was formed. Congress was formed not as a political party. It was as an organization to represent India's grievances to the Britishers. And slowly we assumed the political functioning, political ideology and philosophy like that. So it was at that time, it was a party for attaining independence or securing independence. Thereafter, it became slowly India wanted to be a developed country, planned economy, slowly. So when the country or the days move on, political parties also undergo changes. It can never be static like that. One of the attractions for me to the Congress is Congress does not have a doctrinal approach. It is changing economic theories as and when it requires it changes.
In your opinion, how beneficial is the privatization of industries in our country?
Privatization as a whole is not beneficial. Both it's the farsightedness of Jawaharlal Nehru and the Congress party even now hold good. It's not total privatization nor total nationalization. It's a middle path we have to follow.
As a former mayor of Cochin, what do you think the main area that the corporation has to concentrate on?
Apart from before concentrating on development, the first thing the corporation should do, which they are not doing, is a clean city. You feel ashamed to look around in the city and my surroundings when you compare to other cities in the world. It is so unhygienic, so dirty. The garbages are not removed properly. That's the one thing. If at all you are asked to do something, make the city clean. Then only we go for the development. Because present city, mayor and the corporation as such is not at all devoting their attention to for a clean city. The biggest thing to be done is a clean city. That is what my and also when I was mayor, I banned begging. That is also can be there are treaties. Nobody followed it up. Now also this time everybody is saying, but things are going on like that. That's what I feel about.
That was the first time begging was
banned
in
Kulcha. And it was very successful also. Very successful. There was no beggars. Even now you can, one day you can, all these beggars and other people are coming from other states. Kerala people are not able to. So if you can prevent it, the city will be more, people will be happy, will be more hygienic, more clean, etc.
Ma'am, being a lecturer in political science, how do you evaluate the political atmosphere, the anti-incumbency factor in Kerala?
Anti-incumbency, of course, has been a factor in Kerala politics for quite some time. Even the general public, somehow, they think that the next term, the other party will be coming into power. Somehow that expectation of the general public had been, to a very large extent, it is true. But I don't think that is good for, in the long run, that is good for the state and its development. Because if the same party, or at least the front, the political front, is allowed, or rather can continue in power, they can think of long-term policies. This time, once the government which is in power, after 2 or 3 years, they rather find it difficult to start on a new developmental policies, because the credit will go to the party which comes, the front, political front which comes to power after the next election. So they might think, why should, after taking all these criticism from the people, if the credit is taken by the other party, why should we start from it?
2 terms for a party would be better. 2 not permanently. 2 terms or 3 terms for a party to continue to be there.
And there is history. While Achyuta Menon was the Chief Minister, here he continued for more than a term, and that gave him enough time to think about long-term policies for the benefit of the state.
What is the main obstacle the state faces when it comes to the industrial sector?
Hindrances are many. First of all is our geographical situation. That is, everything has to come from outside. We are in the southernmost tip of the country. So everything has to come from northern part to Kerala. And everything has to go from, all finished products have to go from here to the northern parts, north or east, west, like that. So that is one of the hindrances of that. Then another thing is our population. We don't have any big area for development, because every inch of land is being occupied and every inch is fertile. So nobody wants to give away his land. So if a chemical factory is to be started here, it needs about 150, 200 acres, because otherwise there will be pollution. So then no chemical factory can come into Kerala. Then another thing is our attitude. As you all know that our workers are very conscious of their rights, their responsibilities as well as their wages. So they will agitate for long things. And many of the North Indians are outside and they have not heard of these things. So in the smallest thing they get irritated. They say that the workers are also, not workers, we ourselves have got individualistic approach to self. That's also hindrance for him.
So how do you evaluate this mentality? Because the people of Kerala are very hardworking once they get out of the state. But here, they're totally different.
There's no question, there is no need of any analysis for that. Here, ours is a closed society. Kerala is a closed society. You are known to everybody. I am known to everybody. You are daughter of so-and-so, I am son of so-and-so, brother of so-and-so, so-and-so. Everybody feel that they are all from very big families, and we got some notion, wrong notion about ourselves. So we don't do that. I mean, I belong to such a family, and I am not expected to be a taxi driver. I am not expected to do that. I am not expected to do that. It's a very wrong notion we have. So we don't venture to do it inside Kerala. Whereas if you go outside, nobody knows you. So you can be, even if you do a scavenging job, you are able to. So when you go outside, in order to earn money and in order to give to live, you are prepared to do any job. Then only you can live there. Here it is okay. It goes on like that. Everybody has got something to do that. Something like that it goes on. So you can't blame anybody. It will slowly change. Urbanization, industrialization, education. All these things are making us to change from these things now. So in the IT sector, people are very hardworking now. Or in the other private sector, people are very hardworking. Slowly it will come. Don't worry, it will be all right.
Ma'am, the youngsters before 20 years seem to be bookworms, but now don't you think that the trend is changing due to the advent of technologies?
Really, I feel very sad to perceive our youngsters concentrating more and more on the media, watching TV for a very long time instead of reading. I always think, why can't they read something and widen the horizon of their knowledge? But there is another aspect. The electronic media has taken a very substantial step towards the development of the society, and the youngsters can't just keep themselves away from that mainstream. That has become the mainstream now. But those who would like to read and just acquire knowledge from the books, from the old, from the people of yesteryears, they will be reading something, but more glamorous attraction for them than to spend their time and days in the libraries. Maybe because we didn't have this much of distractions that we were reading. I mean, that was our distraction. That was our attraction, and the mainstay of our acquiring knowledge. Here it comes in capsule form. I mean, if you just switch on to the Google, you can get anything and everything from there. Then why should I read? I asked my grandson, who's just turned 13, then why don't you read something? I have just taken Jawaharlal Nehru's Glimpses of World History for him, and have chalked out a program for him to read one chapter a day at least. And said, I can get things from here, from the computer. Then why should I?
People are reading also. Reading has not gone.
But not that much as we did in our days, in our young days. I mean, that romantic aspect of a history and literature, that is not actually enjoyed by the modern youngsters. That's what I feel. And how many of them might have gone through Tagore's poems, or for that matter anything. Even now, Tagore's Gitanjali, and he's read earlier, and his Wordsworth's poems, all these things, that is deep in my heart, and that gives me so much of pleasure in just visualizing his solitary reaper and all of those things. But I don't think that the youngsters here, except those who are really interested in English literature or Malayalam literature, I don't think many go for that. Many read and enjoy these things.
In your perspective, what kind of changes have you seen in India since independence?
The question itself that it is changing, every day it is changing. You may not be knowing it. In 1950s, when immediately after independence, situation was so bad in this country. We have now marched ahead very much. We have progressed much. There is no starvation. There used to be starvation in this country, and unemployment was so acute in this country. Everything was short supply in this country. Now we are on the verge of becoming a developing country, or a developed country, because if our rate of growth goes by 8%, which our finance minister is assuring us to do, so then within 10, 15, 20 years, as our president repeatedly says, by 2020, we will be a developed nation, no doubt about it.
But sir, do you think that this is applicable to every Indian state, especially like Bihar, UP and Rajasthan?
You can't say that, because India is a very complex country. It never used to be a country at all. It was a subcontinent. It had been, even now it is a subcontinent. We have got millionaires and billionaires there. At the same time, the abject poverty is also there. Here you talked about, there is no uniform prosperity. Whereas if you take Bihar, UP, Rajasthan and Madhya Pradesh, the Hindi heartland they call it, they are very much behind us. Reason is that superstition, illiteracy, and geographical incongruity, all are reason for that. Whereas if you come to southern states, it's more organized, more literate, more resourceful. I mean, of course, Bihar also has got a lot of resources, or UP has got resources, but they could not harness it properly and utilize it. Delivery of progress or delivery of the plan, that's not reaching there. That is mainly, to me, I say that mainly because of lack of will of politicians. There is no will for the politicians of Bihar or Rajasthan or UP to change the human conditions there, progress there. That's lacking.
So, being the chairman of the Coir Board, what are the development activities undertaken by the Coir Board to promote coir industries in India?
Coir Board, I have been there only for a year, just completed 1 year. But it's a very challenging job, because about 500,000 people are working, and that to 84 to 85% are women. They are all in that field, coir field for centuries. Their families are like that. They are getting only very meager salary, wages. So my task is to give them full employment. They have hardly 120 days, 110 days employment a year. Now my task is to give them at least 200 days employment and little more of wages. Now they hardly get 80, 90 rupees. If you can make it 100 rupees, I will be happy. I am planning for that. Main thing I want to do is that there should be demand for coir products. Now there is a good amount of export is there for coir. They are exporting about 600 crores of rupees. 594 crores rupees was the last year's statistics. That we are exporting to United States. But domestic market we have not thought of. We have not developed any domestic market. India is a country with 1,000 million people, 100 crores of people. So if you can sell it to them, then there will be a lot of demand for coir products. And that will give them more employment. So my present dream and present thing is to develop internal market. Not only that, coir pit, it used to be an environmental problem. I mean, in Kerala and other places, is proved to be a very good manure now. Very good soil conditioner. We have entered into an agreement with a Kuwait company for $40,000, $40,000 American dollars to take the square pit. That is like that. The export as well as domestic market will have to be involved.
Any networking policies coming with Asian countries?
Asian countries. Recently I had been to Philippines. It was the Asian Coconut Community meeting. 15 countries were there. Coconut producing countries were there. None of them have got our expertise in the as we do have in coir. They have got the coconut product, many varied products there, but none of them have developed coir as an industry. That we alone have developed. 80% of coir exports in the world is from Kerala, is from India.
So after holding so many positions in your life, do you think it has made you a complete man?
That she has to say. I became a complete man or not?
I met a complete man years back.
How was it being part of a complete man?
Me being part of it. Yeah, I was more concentrating on the family side of it because this was a rare guest in our family most of the time.
And incidentally, I met a complete woman also.
What about the children now?
Children, we have 4 children, 1 daughter and 3 sons. All, of course, for their day-to-day learning process and all, he was not, he could not be a part of it because he was so engrossed in his profession and in political, in political activities and all. He just could not spare time for the day-to-day learning process of my children. That I had to do, but the small time he could spend along with the children, that was definitely a quality time, and they were all looking forward to his presence in the family. They had a very jolly good time, my children and father. So it was as a quality life they had.
Our children are all settled. Our eldest son is President Jose, he's a lawyer. He stepped into my shoes. Our daughter, she did her PhD from ANU University, Delhi. She is married to a chartered accountant. They are in the United States. Our second son is an electronic engineer. He is
in Ericsson in Texas, Dallas. And
the youngest one is an MBA. He is in Bangalore, IBM. All are married, very happy.
And we have 7 grandchildren.
How do you perceive the global tourism scenario in terms of India's development in tourism?
No, world has become suddenly in 1 decade. World has become so jubilant and small also because of this spurt in the transportation. More aircraft is coming. More because as you first asked her about this visual media and all, no? And people are now more anxious to see the places. So global tourism itself is surging everywhere, and more so Kerala and India, because Kerala is considered to one of the 50 destinations in the world where people can go. Ours is a reasonably peaceful state. Ours is with all vegetation, greenery, backwaters. The advantage is that we have got sea beaches as well as hilly resorts. That is it. And India being a very multiple, incredible India is a correct word. What is happening in India is incredible. Many things we don't get in the world. We have toured many countries, but nowhere you can see such a complex nature of India. So we have the immense potentiality for tourism development, and we are developing it also.
So any message that you have for the youth of today?
I am not in the habit of advising the youngsters. I feel it is a bad habit to give. And you cannot give any advice to the youngsters because I want them to be, rebellious without heeding to any advice. They should come out. The only thing is they should work hard. There is no solution for hard work. Whichever field you are, do your best in that thing. That, if you can take it as an advice, that's the advice I have to give them.
It was a pleasure having you both with us, and thank you.
Thank you very much.
You are watching us on
webindia123.com.
That was A.C Jose and Leelama Jose with us, and thank you for watching webindia123.com. And this is Bosmi Chandra Bose signing off.